9-year-old me. You must be 18 years old to view this content. Born 1907. Is the water still going through? Oh, I see. Never mind. I'm stupid. Why do we call it a building if it's already built? You know, that's a very good question. If we think about that for just one moment, I'll come to the conclusion that I hate you. I studied hard, found a job, have a partner, finally ready to feel satisfied, feeling lonely as hell nonetheless and guilty about it. That's the worst part of it all. Movies on 1080p, YouTube videos on 1080p. No, I don't know. I actually don't know what the fuck you're talking about here. Sure, the 1080p on YouTube has gotten a lot better in recent years, for sure. Like, it's gotten a lot more impressive. They've improved the bitrate, all that stupid crap, you know, nice. But no. Absolutely not. Especially if we're talking, I just popped in my Blu-ray of this movie that is being displayed in 1080p. It looks infinitely better than even 4K does on YouTube. Infinitely, all right? Always remember, I'm a physical media nerd. I've got all my stuff. Whatever I love, I own it, okay? That's like the whole point there. And I could tell you that when it comes to the discs, I mean, you might be watching on like a shitty site, or maybe you found a way to pirate the high seas and get a copy that's heavily compressed or something that's still 1080p. But trust me, the reason you want those discs is because that bitrate can't be touched by anything else. That bitrate on average is like, I mean, hell, my copy of Blue Velvet is like 80 megabit. You know what your average bitrate is on YouTube? Like 2. Athletes in their prime. Athletes 0.1 seconds after they retire. Damn straight. You know why. You know why. Because, let's get real for a minute, the physique that he's got on the left there is not normal. What you have to do to have the Hollywood hot guy hunky physique is actually kind of insane. It's really crazy. Hell, Henry Cavill dropped a bit of Hollywood lore on us regarding that first season of The Witcher, where he said in order to look even more cut, it was required that he not drink water. He had to dehydrate himself intentionally over the course of 3 days. So like each day you drink less and less and less, and on that third day, you don't drink water so that your skin will be a little bit tighter on the body. Absolutely insane. That physique on the right is still kick-ass, by the way. He's just, you know, drinking a lot of beer. That he's got that beer belly, but he's still physically fit otherwise, and probably doing all right. Look, we all deal with body image issues, but just remember that whoever you're seeing on the movie screen, unfortunately, was probably treated poorly and has to go through this shitty regimen in order to look like that. Hell, I never know how to pronounce his name, but he's one of the stars and the creator of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Rob Henny, whatever his name is. He is living proof of it, man. Like, sure, you can obtain that crazy physique, but his Instagram post going over what you need in order to maintain it and have it, f***ing insane. It's just not great. It's gonna mess you up, man. Oprah reveals how she manages to stay stress-free at 67. Step 1, have $1 billion. Look, we gotta stop pretending like being a billionaire isn't the number one reason you're fine. Not to say that someone who is a billionaire can't be depressed or have their problems or feel like shit or anything like that. They absolutely can, and that's totally valid when it happens. The difference between them and myself is when something is going on, they can easily pay for the best help the planet has to offer, and it won't break the bank. It won't even chip the bank, my man. There is such a divide in that regard. Health insurance or not, these are people that don't need health insurance in any way, shape, or form. They can cash that shit out all the time. Regardless of whether or not she has like an actual $1 billion sitting in the bank, which I doubt, you know? Usually billionaires have most of their money tied up in stock and investment and all that stupid shit. But man, it's just lame, okay? Sure, you can have your problems, but your $1 billion will make your problems 10 billion times easier to deal with than my money will. It just will. They need to recognize that shit. CEO and owners, when the company earns profits, will hold a pizza party for you guys instead of bonuses or raises. CEO and owners, when the company faces losses, it's our company. We have to share the burdens. Oh man, these people at the tippy tops of all of these companies forgot that blame goes up. If something is wrong with the company, that is exclusively the fault of all the douchebags that get paid $30 million a year to do fucking nothing. Look, I'm sure there are plenty of CEOs out there that do, like, insanely hard work, for sure. Like, I can imagine Linus Tech Tips. When Linus was the CEO, I can imagine his job being insanely involved and busy and crazy, right? But I imagine that if LTT climbed to, say, Disney size somehow, and Linus was still the CEO, I've got this sneaky suspicion that his job would suddenly not really be a thing anymore, right? Sure, he shows up, justifies dumbass ideas to a board, and then goes the f*** home, right? I don't know. And if they do still have crazy jobs at the end of the day that are really difficult, still not worth 30 mil a year, my guy. How about this? We'll pay you $2 million a year, and every other penny of that goes right back to the people that make this entire thing work. Remember, we make it work, you don't. None of the blame should fall on the workers. All of it should fall on all of the top-level executives all at once because it is their fault. The leaders are in charge of the whole thing. We do what we're told. And if shit starts to fall apart, guess what? We did what we were told, you dumbass. Don't talk to that guy. He thinks heat is better than cold. Thinks heat is better than cold. How do you mean? Are we talking like temperature-wise? Like people that prefer the hot weather in the summer to the cold weather in the winter? Because if so, yeah, I'm sorry. I've always been one of those guys that thinks that while winter sucks, if you're super temperature sensitive, winter is better because it is a lot easier to go inside and warm up, you know, depending on physicality and whatnot, than it is to go inside and cool down. You can only cool down so much with the help of an incredibly expensive to run air conditioner versus I could just put on a couple of sweaters, walk in a circle for 5 seconds in my house, and I haven't even turned the heat on, you know? It's just, you can only take off so many layers and cool down so efficiently, but it's a lot easier to warm up, in my opinion. This is coming from somebody who, you know, I've always been, I guess, very hot-blooded. I just hate heat a lot because, again, cooling down for me is really annoying. I'm always way too hot. That's just it. Don't get fooled by this guy. This is how British people actually cook. I mean, yeah, at home, maybe. Sure. Why not? I've actually, by the way, for a little while, I dated someone from the UK, visited them, and they made me a full English breakfast. We meme on English food a lot. We do, because it's not particularly spice heavy at all. Almost not. It's very, it's a lot more bland in comparison to others. I was made a pretty traditional, like, lamb Christmas thing over there as well. That was pretty bland, but it was good. I don't mind bland stuff at all, because food is food. If it's made well, it's gonna be good, okay? Like, I get that it's funny to make fun of the UK. Like, you guys don't use spices despite having conquered most of the planet back in, like, the 1700s to control all the spices. Kinda suspicious. When you're playing cool math games, then feel a hand on your shoulder and hear, yeah, go ahead and please log out for me. The teacher caught you. Look, this wouldn't be a problem. This wouldn't be a problem for you if you did what you were supposed to do first and then asked, can I go to cool math games? Because the teachers will let you if you're done with what you need to do and everyone else is catching up. Yeah, my teachers were pretty cool about that. They would let us visit Pandora. I would go to Fun Brain more than Cool Math. Fun Brain was sort of my jam when I was going through elementary school. Or I'd load up Kid Picks, or hell, you know what? I even enjoyed the stupid Mavis Beacon typing game that they had, man. I even enjoyed that. Here's another one for you. You guys gotta go back and play Times Attack. That shit had such a fire soundtrack. Will you press the button? You get $50 million, but your dad gets half of it. So I get $25 million, and I get a dad? Upgrades, people. Upgrades. I mean, why would I care, man? Oh no, I'm only getting $25 million. Or, sorry, after taxes, what are we looking at? Like 12 and a half, something like that. Am I thinking of that correctly? I always assume that if I get a giant lump sum of money, half of it will need to be paid to the government where I am, right? Half of it. Oh no, I'm only getting like $12 million. I can't live my life on that. I think someone in my live stream over on my personal channel, Robin Nelson, actually they did sort of a calculation and said that if you were given like $10 million, would you give your channel away? Yeah. Absolutely, no doubt about it. You pay me $10 million? Of course! I can just go make another channel and now I've got $10 million. They sort of calculated that with that amount of money, you could probably live the rest of your life on like $200K a year. Dude, you're sitting pretty, man. And, like this person said, you get a dad. I move a millimeter an image in my document of Word. My document? Wow, okay. I know you're probably not a native English speaker. That was difficult to read. But you're right. Is this still a problem? It is the year of our Lord and Savior, 2025, and Microsoft Word still can't handle images? Man, when I was learning Microsoft Word in elementary school, about 20 years ago now, yeah, Yeah, crazy, right? I'm old. I'm gonna die soon. 20 years ago, when I was in elementary school, dude, I was learning Microsoft Word. Same thing. How is it that it's never gotten better 20 years later? Microsoft, this is quite embarrassing. This is a moment for you to reflect. Windows 11, absolute nightmare. Vista was better and more stable. Microsoft Word, all of that's a subscription service now? You're crazy, because somehow it's worse and more expensive at the same time. Y'all are nuts. Y'all are knuckin' futs, dude. Oh boy. EA is looking at putting in-game ads in AAA games. We'll be very thoughtful as we move into that, says CEO. Valve bans all Steam games that force players to watch advertisements. I love that like breaking ad. That's good. That's good. You know, I'm really nervous about the future of Valve, and especially Steam, because we all like to make the joke about Steam being a good monopoly. They're not a monopoly. Obviously, there's lots of competition, and that is good. There is competition. Sure, in my opinion, the competition is inherently worse in almost every single way. Epic is probably the best that I have used in comparison to Steam, but the only reason for that is because I'll log in and I get a free game every week. Cool. Or a free game license, excuse me. But why I'm worried about Steam and worried about Valve is that, sure, we still have Gabe and his group up at the top levels of Valve are probably still pretty good in making sure that they're looking out for us, the consumer. They're actually thinking about us. Maybe not completely. You know, Gabe's a billionaire. He might have changed a lot over the years. It seems like they're still thinking about us, and the fact that they continue to grow. That Steam hit its highest concurrent player count recently with, 40 million people logged in? Steam is the king of all of this. And I'm really scared for the day that either Gabe leaves or, God forbid, 20 years in the future he passes away. I want to make sure, and I think we all want to make sure, that whoever takes over the entirety of the company, or however it might change structurally when that happens, I really hope that it's not handed to another corporation. I really, really hope that Steam continues to be run by people like us that care about the things that we care about. Otherwise, this experiment will be over and we will never, ever have anything like Steam ever again. Which has its faults. Valve's not f***ing perfect. Lord knows they're not. When was their last game? Okay, sorry, no. Half-Life Alyx is pretty sick. It just turned 5, I think, the day I'm recording this. Pretty awesome. But so I'm a little bit jaded. I still want Left 4 Dead 3. You know, they're not perfect, but I want them to stay around and stay good, because the reason they're still growing is because their competition cannot be nearly as good as them, and they never have been. They probably never will be. But I don't know. I'm just nervous. I'm nervous for the day that something happens and we hear that Valve was purchased or otherwise, because is Gabe the only reason this shit's holding on? I hope not. I imagine not. But man, the day I hear that Valve is sold off to anybody is the day it's over. It's over. Moon landing? Fake. Look at the flag. AI generated image on Facebook. Beautiful, dear. Congrats. What were they complaining about with the flag again? Like, what was their problem with the flag on the moon landing? Also, is this grandma herself AI generated? Because if she is, and it looks like she is, whole meme is fucking stupid and I hate it now. Thank you. Don't shoot! I'm a flat earther! Prove it! No, it's up to you to prove it. Well, okay, wait. There have been a few flat earthers out there that try to put their money where their mouth is. Funnily enough, every single time that they do, they prove themselves wrong. And some of them have been able to go, okay, I'm wrong. My whole worldview has just been changed. Wow, guys. Shit. I'm glad I tested this out. Most of them still go, no. The light from the volcanic gas and that dog barking distracted me, and it's still flat. I was again, that dog. Like, did you guys hear the dog? I don't know. I was just really distracted. So I'm glad that a few of them have put their money where their mouth is and come out the other side going, well, shit, my worldview is shattered. Because that does show intelligence. It does. Do you know how difficult it is to believe so fervently in something and then find out that it's bullshit and completely provably false? And then instead of going, nuh-uh, la, I can't hear you, you say, shit, man, that's crazy. I can't believe I believed what I did before. But this has been illuminating, and now my eyes are open to this new world, so to speak, for me. That takes a lot more intelligence than anyone is ever willing to admit for some strange fucking reason. Especially emotional intelligence, because it's hard, man. Feeling embarrassed sucks. Being wrong sucks. And honestly, being wrong mainly sucks because of how other people treat you when you are wrong. But nonetheless, if you can turn the other cheek and go for it, that's pretty sick. If you spot this guy, call police. U.S. Marshals are looking for him, and he may have been in Hampton Roads. If I spot this guy, I'm gonna mind my fucking business. Yeah, is that like a mask, or is that dude actually a demon? Like, not even a demon from hell. This guy's like a demon from the outer rim, right? Not even from hell. Not even another dimension or anything like that. He's just from the Outer Wilds. Okay, not from the Outer Wilds. There's nothing nearly this scary in the Outer Wilds. Speaking of, please go play Outer Wilds. Why the hell do we have ass hair? It's to prevent chafing. Oh shit, for real? I mean, that makes sense. Dude, chafing sucks, dude. Like, this stuff is annoying, so of course we're gonna think about why do we need it, but it's nice to have an answer that makes some sense. Don't build more houses, the property values will go down. Then bulldoze them. What? Fewer houses then. Bulldoze the nearby neighborhoods. Yes, that will send the prices skyrocketing. We'll all be rich if we destroy as many houses as possible. Fuck it. Do mine! Do mine! Burn my house down. It'll be worth so much money afterwards. Ha 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 ha. Oh, I'm not happy here. I'm just not happy. The United States is crumbling. Iceland is the top consumer of antidepressants in the world. Iceland is in the top 3 happiest county in the world. Wow, it's almost like for some people, antidepressants are lifesavers and help a ton. I had a conversation with a friend regarding, like, prescription drugs recently, and while there is a big problem with them in general, I really don't like the giant, widespread vilification of them across the board. It is irresponsible that so many artists out there will, like, make songs about how the happy pills are bad for you, and they don't fucking know. It didn't work for them, all right? But I don't like that idea, that rhetoric that because it's a prescription, that it's inherently evil, and you should go out and eat grass and chew on weed and all that, and it'll cure you, man, and... No, it may not work for you. I know antidepressants have not worked for me, and a lot of them are prohibitively expensive. But for those that they work for, dude, that's f***ing awesome, and no one will ever tell me otherwise. Don't worry, your identity is safe with us. Well, I mean, it was safe with us. That's what I meant to say. It was safe with us, but now... I didn't promise it was gonna last forever, okay? I can't promise. My God, guys, my brain is fried. It's only 1:30. What's going on today? You know what's not cool, Bobby? Asking people to do assignments as part of the interview process and then ghosting them. Oh yeah, I'm not doing a assignment to work for you. Nope, absolutely not. Unless I am guaranteed to make it to an interview after that fact, no way is a company going to get free work from me at all with no promise of something. That's why so many people have been saying, dude, if you have an interview process this long, you need to compensate people that make it past that first interview. That first interview is that test, sure. If you break through that barrier and then you have to jump through the 700 hoops to eventually get hired, all of that should be paid for at the regular employee rate. I'm not kidding. I don't care how radical that sounds, because in my opinion, it doesn't sound radical literally at all to compensate people for hours and hours and hours of their time. But if you ask me to do assignments, assessments, tests, questionnaires, and it takes me well over an hour to do, sometimes hours to do, and then you just never can respond, I should be able to sue your ass, dude. It's getting a little ridiculous how disrespectfully nasty any companies out there are allowed to be. There are people whose entire jobs it is to deal with new hires or potential new hires, and they don't do their f***ing jobs at all. You are paid to talk to people you are trying to recruit, and you just don't? Oh, it's so overwhelming. Do it as a f***ing job then. Me waiting 2 months after the interviewer told me you'll hear back from us soon. Did the interviewer, was it them? Or was it one of those crappy stock standard click pre-written reply bullshit emails that you get? Because I've gotten a few of those. I got one from my favorite video game studio, and then 2 months later was told no. That was the most embarrassing moment of my life, I think. That kind of sucked. But was it one of those? Or did the interviewer say, yeah, we will be in touch. Have a good day. Not that it really makes a huge difference, but in my opinion, whenever I get the standard reply, I know to just drop my hope and look for something else. Because I know if I get that stupid reply, even though it's standard procedure for them to send those out, I know it's just kind of over. The world of trying to find work has become, I'd call it evil at this point. it's meant to be dehumanizing and demoralizing as much as possible, so that by the time you find something that might be willing to accept you, you're so exhausted that you're not even going to remotely ask for the amount of money you should be getting paid. It's definitely all by design. Like, I think those are my craziest conspiracy theories. I feel like a little while ago, someone asked me about my craziest, like, do you have any conspiracy theories you think are crazy? And I've got the two. That the job search market, or whatever you want to call it, is designed to be this way on purpose. So again, you'll be exhausted and won't ask for what you're owed. And my other conspiracy theory is that video game developers secretly make the PC versions of their games more difficult when you're using keyboard and mouse, because it's an inherently more comfortable and easier way to control a game, especially a shooter. Those are my thoughts, even though that's not true. Or at least the video game one's not. People making fun of me for buying childish stuff, me finally living a comfortable life and buying the things I wanted as a kid. I mean, you can make fun of me all you want for buying childish stuff, but at the end of the day, I'm a big boy. I get to do what I want with my money, and if you think it's dumb, I really don't give a shit. What I buy, quite frankly, none of your business. So you can go back to whatever the fuck it is that you're doing. I'm gonna go play with my new Furby because I get to do whatever I want to do, and your thoughts on it don't mean dick. How I thought I would look like with long hair, how I actually look like. I think one of the things that people don't think about often when it's time for a haircut is what the maintenance, I mean, sure, you're growing your hair out, you're not getting a haircut, but is learning how to style it. Whether they teach you there or you're looking up tutorials or whatnot, it is important to actually know how to do it. I still don't really know how. I mean, all I do is swoop it back, throw some hairspray in there, and push it forward a little bit, and that's the best I can do. But you should ask, if you get a trim or you get something stylized or whatever at all, you should be asking the person there, like, hey, what do I do, by the way? Is there a proper way? Do you recommend? I mean, of course, if you ask for product recommendations, they're going to try to upsell you with the stuff they sell at the salon or wherever you are. But if you're upfront about not wanting to pay too much, they got you, man. They fucking got you, dude. I think a lot of us just don't really think about how you kind of have to learn everything. It just sort of leaves your mind. Are you winning, Dad? No, son, I lost the house. Great, I guess I'll start packing then. Why is this one here, man? What the hell is this one doing here? How is this the top of anything, man? Oh my god, none of this is fair. Hopefully Dad got the help he needed, and they didn't end up having to lose the house. Dad, make me coffee if you want. Me, okay. 30 minutes later, where's my fucking coffee? Me, who didn't make it because he said if I want to. What kind of interaction is this with your dad? It's so fucking stupid. Huh? Who says that? Make me coffee if you want, and then expect it. If I give somebody the option, I am not going to expect it. Now, am I? That's just kind of embarrassing on your part if you do that. Am I right? Am I right, folks? Oh, yeah, I'm totally right. It is weird, though. Like, if I were you in this scenario, I would go, do you want coffee or not? If you do, this makes the whole thing 1,000 times easier. Like, we're all not as direct with each other as we could be. If someone says, do you want this? Yes or no? Yes or no? Not, if you want. Yes or no? For the love of all that is holy. People, how come so many people claim to have mental disorders nowadays? There were almost no mental disorders in the past. The way mental disorders were treated in the past. Oh man, I feel like it was a lot worse than that, though. I feel like most mental disorders were treated with, we can try making you bleed for a lengthy amount of time, or we can burn you alive, we could drown you, or we could just cut your head off. Back when we knew absolutely nothing. I am so happy to live in the time that I do. Sure, times right now suck in very particular ways, but it's nice to think about the grander scheme sometimes and realize that I don't live in an era where autism would be seen as some kind of potential, like, witchcraft or something like that, so they would have to kill me in general, or burn me alive, or crush me to death with stones or something like that. So I'm glad to be here at this point in time. When I show up at the spreading misinformation competition, but my opponent gave me the wrong address, oh, dude, you got hardcore, man. I'm so sorry. You f***ing fool. It looks like you're in the wrong game. Having an actual music taste? If it sounds good, I like it. I mean, yeah, look, I know people meme on folks that say I listen to a little bit of everything, because usually what you do when you say that, or what people do when you say that is they go, what about this? Like, dude, I don't fucking know. I haven't discovered that yet, dork ass. Like, what about this? What about this one? You listen to this? I mean, no, I haven't gotten to that yet. But of course, like, if you look at my playlists, they are all over the place, man. There'll be like Tupac and then someone's cover of Happy Birthday, like right after it. And then you want to know what? 5 songs down the line, there's going to be that Jingle Bells cover that's just a synth of dog barks. It's all in there, man. Yeah, I do listen to a little bit of everything. I'll take recommendations on everything, all right? Now, the thing is, living that lifestyle of music means that sometimes I'll like one singular song an artist has made and absolutely not vibe with a single other thing they've ever done. That's just the nature of it, man. When you're really enjoying a show, but the next episode is named after your favorite character, oh dear, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Did this happen in Severance or something like that? Am I going to be looking forward to horrible things? It wasn't a Nazi salute, he's just autistic. Autistic people, you're not affiliated with me! Yep, like, whoever actually believed in that excuse is one of the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. No, bullshit. I'm autistic, diagnosed, I'm on the spectrum, and I don't just randomly Sig Heil at random, like,
Just a little quirk of being autistic.
no, shut the fuck up. Being a man is really hard, because what do you mean go check what was that noise? I'm scared too! Look, whoever I end up with in the future, if at all that ever happens, we are sharing the spooky, scary sound thing. We're sharing it. You and I are both going. You know, you in front with a flashlight, me behind with like an axe, okay? I'm sorry, you just have to go first. Honey, tell me what's wrong. Every C in Pacific Ocean is pronounced differently. Oh, get out of here with your shower thought. This picture bro wants to put in your slideshow that's worth 50% of our grade. Okay, I'm just really fucking tired of shitty AI-generated images showing up here. I don't care if they're part of the joke. I don't find them funny. These pigeons look like they're posing for a 90s rap album cover. I kinda hope that whoever took that picture did end up selling it to a band or group or artist, or ended up using it themselves for that exact purpose. How it feels to chip into a Reddit discussion thinking it's like TikTok and you now have 200 downvotes and multiple essays sent to you by grown-ass men. I think I've made like 5 comments in total my entire life on Reddit, and they've all been downvoted to shit. And I can't even remember what they were for. To be fair, a lot of them were back when I was like 13 or 14, so they probably deserved way more downvotes. Satan watching me die single after I promised him my firstborn son in return for unlimited Robux. Really? Robux? You couldn't think of anything better to trade your soul for? When you asked the protagonist at the start of the second game where all the weapons, armors, and abilities from the first game go? Gee whiz, I don't know. Come on, man. That's not how game design works. That would not be very fun. If I'm starting a game, I don't want to feel powerful unless I'm on New Game Plus. Grown men in 2011. I fucking hate you and hope you die. I like singing. He was a fucking child. Look, I was one of those people too, man. I was one of those people too. I didn't like him for no reason. I think it was because we're very similar in age. Actually, hold on, let me see. Okay, he's only a few years older than me. I'm 29, he's 31. So we were very similar in age, and of course, you know, everyone wants to be rich and famous for something. He had actual talent. It was the right time, right place. I feel incredibly bad about how he's been treated his entire life. Doesn't excuse his douchebag behavior on rare occasion. But yeah, I was one of these people. Granted, again, I was a child, so I think I was just going with the flow of everyone else. But at least I didn't take it too fucking seriously like a lot did. Back in my day, the smartest AI was the Akinator. Was he an AI? I mean, for me, I'm sorry, back in my day, it was Cleverbot, dude. Me, from a third world country, seeing white women solo traveling to shady places in my country, which I don't even dare to visit. Well, I hope you're warning him and telling him to steer clear then, if you know what's going on, dude. I wouldn't be sitting there idly shouting no. I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna try and save someone's fucking life today. Streisand effect, Reddit flagging the mention of Mario's brother. When your parents are arguing and the topic suddenly is about my studies, why the fuck is it my business all of a sudden, dude? Why are you dragging me into this? Gym rats when they bench 400 but still get no bitches. I'm a victim of my own success. Well, maybe they just want to bench 400 and not worry about bitches. Maybe that's their whole thing. Maybe they just don't care about bitches. Maybe they care about the homies, dude. Alarm at 7. You wake up at 6:59. Is this a superpower? It does sometimes feel like it, but it can also feel like a horrible curse. The salon employee watching me get out of the tanning bed with a piping hot grilled cheese sandwich. How hot was that shit turned up to? Are we talking Final Destination 3? Why do all teenagers look like this now? I don't know. Do you know what all teenagers looked like when I was a teenager and in high school? It's just every generation has a specific look, okay? They have a specific way of doing things. They all have a vibe, all right? I think I've asked the question before, do scene kids still exist? Because that was like, I think at emo and scene was sort of at its peak when I was growing up. And now, yeah, you know, a lot of these kids have the curly hair and all that. It's specific haircuts, specific styles. It's just how it works, dude. Woman in the 1600s, the church. Oh, it was way worse than that, my guy. When you test your time machine for the first time, but Earth isn't in the same place anymore, something that is often forgot about, you've gotta calculate the speed at which our entire solar system and planet are hurtling through the universe. Otherwise, no notification. 1030? Oh, God, dude. Man. Yeah, it sucks both ways. Because as the guy, you feel like people just find you incredibly unattractive and don't like you and don't give a shit about you, and that makes you feel bad. But if you're a woman, it's just all sexual harassment and pretty horrible comments or dick photos. So on either side of the spectrum, not great. You can't spell advertisements without semen between the tits. Until we meet again.
Screw you, He-Man!
I breathe air for you. I pump blood for you. I filter waste for you. Titties. You left the toilet seat up. Oh, shut the front door, you fucking loser. I'm sorry. You, as a man, are probably doing like 2 things in the morning. Brushing your teeth, that's it. She has a lot of pressure on her to do all of this. I mean, probably a lot of it could come from you, my man. A lot of that pressure could come from you. I hope that you're reassuring her and letting her know that without all of that, she still looks fantastic and you love her. And no, I don't equate putting the toilet seat down to this. I don't. Because putting the toilet seat down, come on, man. Like, have you never gone back into the bathroom, like, a little later to take a shit and gone, oh, I didn't put the toilet seat down? Got yourself with it? It's really not that hard of an action, bro. Just grow up. When traveling by train is almost 3 times more expensive than by car and takes even longer, that is the biggest problem here in the United States. If I want to get even, like, an economy seat and go to San Francisco from Denver, it's gonna be like $600 with no extra fancy shit and take 2 days. I'll probably pay less than half of that in gas round trip to get to the same place from here. People just upvoting, ban Reddit. POV, you're in a bar in Mexico and this middle-aged couple walk up to you and says, we like your vibe. I would be really scared if oh my God, this isn't James, this isn't James. Is it? No, it's not. Okay, sorry. What is this one? Dave! It's Dave. Dave's way cooler. Dave is way cooler. I don't know if Dave has any crazy, stupid allegation crap going around about him. I really hope not. But anyway, this is Dave. Sorry. I'd be a little freaked out. Of course I'd be a little freaked out. Don't touch me, Dave. Scary bastard. Me? Come closer. I need you to stop playing audio from that video. It's 3 posts below my screen. Billy, what have you done? Upvoting a post is rule violation. Aim for the head.